Good blessed Throwback Thursday, May the 1st, 2025, the time being 5:14 a.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say, do, or produce. That's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution of freedom of press, of freedom of speech, of freedom to protest, of freedom to gather, and a freedom to associate. Now, if you are felons, you probably want to check with your local law enforcement officials to see if it's legal for you to gather together or do any of the above I just mentioned, being felons. If you're on probation or parole, you want to do the same thing. Check with your probation or parole officers to see whether or not you can do any of the above things. What I want to talk about today is corruption in the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department. I want to show indifference treatment to me as being not just a black man here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, a black man that's an activist, a black man that's a civil and human rights activist, a black man that's a formal NAACP member. When I say formal, I dropped my membership due to the fact not just the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County NAACP chapters is not doing nothing to stop corruption, injustice. The national chapter is not trying to do anything. But what I want to just show facts, 100% facts. It's a fact that on April the 20th, 2025, let me correct myself, human error. Not April the 20th of 2025, but on March the 20th, 2025, right here in front of my house in the 600 block of Vine Street, Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, a 315-pound, 6'5", 37-year-old individual came on my property, attacked me, a 67-year-old man, attacked me with mace. I was able to show the law enforcement officials here video from my phone and video from my security cameras. This individual, after he attacked me, I believe he went to the police station and turned himself in. I want to show he was arrested the same day. I want to show that he went to court on April the 2nd, 2025 in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County in the 33rd Circuit Court in front of Robert Barker. He was charged with third-degree assault. Listen to this, third-degree assault on a special victim. I asked the prosecuting attorney, can them charges be up to a second or first-degree assault on a special victim? Because according to Missouri law, state law, when a person attack an individual with mace and it's not in self-defense, especially if it's a special victim, the charge should be not just assault, but assault with a deadly weapon. But she says she gonna choose to keep it just like it is. But when I went to court on April the 2nd, 2025, sitting in the courtroom where I sit most times, even when I'm not going to court against somebody that attacked me, after the individual by the name Jermichael, look him up on CaseNet, Jermichael Parker, went to court, the one that attacked me. After he went to court and they gave him a continuance, his brother, Harvey D. Corbett, was in the courtroom with one of their cousins by the name of Michael Owens. They called him Boo Boo. Boo Boo uncle is the only black on the Charleston, Missouri Police Department, 30 years plus. Boo Boo is a friend of the Captain Barry Morgan, who wrote the report. Since it happened in the courtroom, the Charleston, Missouri police officers couldn't write the report, but one of the police officers that have 30 years on the force, he wrote a detailed, you hear me, a detailed account of what I told him happened in that courtroom when I was sitting in there on April the 2nd. Unlike the captain, Barry Morgan from the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department. But when Jermichael's case was continued, the people from that supervise home confinement and things like that, they wanted to talk to him because I let him see that his car was coming past my house. And he was living in a house right around the corner from me at 401 South Warhousing, when his address was 512 Cedar Street in Bertrain, Missouri. But as he went back, as Jermichael went back to the back with the lady that monitors the court confinement and home confinement, his brother, I didn't know it was his brother at the time, but I knew Mike Owens. They was leaving out of the courtroom, and as they was leaving out, it was 3 or 4 of them leaving out. What I found out to be Jermichael's brother, another 300 and something pound, 6 feet tall, 30-something-year-old individual, threatened to slap me. Now, if he threatened to slap me, if you look it up, if you look this here up, if a victim is in court and one of his family members threatened the victim, especially a special victim, saying that he should slap the shit out of me, that should be a serious case, not just a class 2 harassment. That should have been a threat against a special victim. If I'm a special victim being attacked, I'm a special victim being threatened. But I want y'all to follow this real good, because I'm going to show you corruption from the captain that wrote the report to the courthouse. Now, here it is. This individual done threatened me. I done showed everybody who he was. And one retired captain from the sheriff department that worked security now in the 33rd Circuit Court of Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County, when these individuals going downstairs, Michael Owens, who think he's a police, Michael Owens that don't believe that he's black, but he's blacker than dirt. And this is no disrespect to anybody as far as being white or black. I'm saying this because Michael Owens, he degrade black people to try to impress certain white people. There's a lot of white people don't even like him because he done misused them, paying them less than they supposed to be paid, transferring grain for him. But I want you to see this here. I pointed him out in the retired captain that was downstairs where you come through the metal detector. He went outside to get the individual name, who I found out to be Harvey Corbett, the brother of the individual Jermichael Parker, and the cousin of Michael Owens, boo-boo. He got that information, and somebody called and said that there was a disturbance in the court. 2 people responded from the Mississippi County Sheriff Department because that's their jurisdiction. It's not the police department jurisdiction. It happened in the circuit court in the Mississippi County courthouse, so they had to respond. 2 people responded that I criticized, and I can criticize anybody, but if a crime being committed against me, whether you don't like what I'm criticizing about you or not, it's your job. Once I get the subpoena to get the cameras in the courthouse, you would see one of the first ones that responded, well, 2 responded, Captain Barry Morgan and Detective John Blakely. John Blakely came in and asked the guy that do the security now, that was his supervisor when he was at the sheriff department. He asked him, well, what's going on? And then when he told him, and John Blakely pointed at me, oh, him? In other words, I'm the one being threatened. John Blakely left out like it was nothing. It didn't surprise me. Barry Morgan came inside, and this same security guy told him a white female came downstairs from the courtroom that was sitting on the same bench I was sitting on, said she heard Harvey Corbett say something to me, but she didn't know exactly what it was. The security cameras show him stopped and paused because my back was to him and I was in the back of the courtroom. And when I was downstairs videoing outside while the retired captain was getting the information of the guy that claimed, that said he was going to slap me, the guy that sprayed me with mace came down and walked out of the courtroom, out of the courthouse, rather, on the left side of me, and the cameras would show it, and he made a statement, "Get out of my way. I don't want to catch another case. Get out of my way." I told all of this to the captain. He didn't put it in his report. He didn't put it in his report that a retired captain told him that it was a white lady upstairs in the courtroom heard this guy say something to me. He didn't put that in the court. He didn't put that in his report. Now, I'm wondering what he did, when he talked to Michael Owens and Harvey Corbett when he was doing his investigation. Because when he talked to me, he didn't take all the stuff because I got it down here. I got all the paperwork. When he talked to the retired captain, he wanted to know why the retired captain go out there and get the guy's name. He told him because I asked him to, because I was threatened in the courtroom. That's what a real law enforcement official would do. You see what I'm saying? Then he want to know why the retired captain let me video. The retired captain let him know the man can video anything in this courthouse, anything besides in the courtroom. That go to show you he wasn't looking to try to put charges against them guys. When he interviewed me, he told me that, if the guy don't admit to threatening you, I might not be able to do it. And then the other thing, when the guy told you to move out of the way before he don't want to catch another case, well, you was blocking the door. No, I wasn't blocking the door. It was enough room for anybody to go through any side, and the cameras would show that. But I'm going to show you how corrupted these people is. Now, here it is, this man, brother, sprayed me with mace. He get a $500 bond. You see what I'm saying? Riding past my house. And then they had to upgrade, saying that they upgraded to having him on home confinement. But yet I see his cars all around. Down the street from me parked. On the other side of me parked. Riding past my house. And I sent all this to the prosecuting attorney. But she said he was at home. I ain't gonna even worry about that because God knows and sees everything. But look at this. Now, if this man done threatened me and you got all this information, there was another witness upstairs and you didn't get that information from that witness, then you gonna try to drill a retired captain while you let him video. That ain't the problem. I was threatened. Why you go get the guy's name? Now, who would say, why would you go get a suspect's name that just threatened an elder person who's going to court against his brother? Now, let me show you this here. When you look at this paperwork, you will see corruption. Where do you know at anywhere in the United States or anywhere else if a captain write a report that a sergeant is the approving officers? Nowhere. Google it up and see if you can do that in the state of Missouri. I'm going to show you where it was done. In my case, a person that's higher than the captain or the sheriff is the one that can approve that. A sergeant can't approve a captain's thing. That's just like me and I got small children and my small children want to do something and the people say, well, tell me, well, you got to ask your children, is it okay for you to approve? But I want y'all to look at it real close. But I'm going to tell you about this guy that slapped me. Now, it took the prosecuting attorney, I called many a times to see what the status was. Went upstairs after the court hearings. When is going to be something? It took 14 days. He was finally charged on a crime he committed against me, a serious crime, threatening a witness of his family member, somebody that's not a witness, but a victim of his family member. The record would show she filed the charges on the 15th of April. 13 days later, I kept asking the captain for a copy of his report under the Sunshine Law, which I had a right to get. He talking about he got to get it approved from the prosecuting attorney. I'm not going for the prosecuting attorney asking for nothing. I'm not going to the police department asking for nothing. I'm coming to the sheriff's department. And after a few days of keep asking him, then he admitted that they don't have no sunshine for him. He said, but you can get it because you the victim. I ain't going to deny it to you. But he said, I'm going to have to redact some things. And if you look at the pages that he redacted and the way he wrote this, just about all the whole report is redacted. But I want to show you this here. When you look at it real close, I'm going to show you when he finally gave me a copy after I told him, I said the prosecuting attorney done filed charges, which was on the 15th of April. You will see on the printout of the report he gave me finally, which he might as well not gave me anything. It was printed out on April the 16th. 14 days after he supposed to wrote the report. You see, it don't take him that long to write reports when they setting people up. Him and John Blakely, when they setting people up out here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. It don't take him that long. But when the prosecuting attorney finally told me she was pressing the charges, the guy had a court date for April the 30th. April the 30th now. That was yesterday. Now, CaseNet said he's supposed to went to get fingerprinted on April the 29th, the day before he went to court. But when I sat up in the courtroom, his court time was April the 30th, 2025 at 9:30. They called his name to go get fingerprinted first because they sent a summons to him when he threatened me. They didn't arrest him, they sent a summons. Ain't that something? But they arrested me for videoing the individual, which I had a right to. Gave me 2 years probation. Fined me. but went to court. They called his name the first time, he didn't show up. About almost 10 o'clock, they called his name again, he didn't show up. And guess what they did? Now this man ain't appeared in court damn time since he threatened me. Didn't have to pay no bond. And before I went to court, people had already told me Mike Owens, boo-boo, and the guy, his cousin that threatened me, said Barry Morgan told them that he ain't even got to worry about coming to court. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna happen to him because he ain't did nothing. That's what boo-boo Michael Owens is running around telling people, and it came to pass. Yesterday, April the 30th, Harvey Corbett told people, I'm going to work. Them people ain't finna do nothing to me. Now, he didn't show up, and this is what the prosecuting attorney, he said nothing. That's what the judge said. Okay, warrant set, he set a warrant out, and he said bond would be court costs and fines. In other words, this individual can threaten me in the courtroom, don't come to court at all, and all he being done is fining court costs. Fining court costs is not helping me because I was a victim. Fining court costs is just helping the system to get some more money. You see what I'm saying? All they was worried about, not me being threatened, but all they was worried about is the fact is getting some money. Then I called because I looked on CaseNet, wasn't no warrant set out. Now this was 9 o'clock in the morning. I called the clerk's office about 2 o'clock. They said, well, the lady ain't came back yet that was in the courtroom, called back about 3. Called back about 3 o'clock. And they told me, they said, it's kind of slow. We don't have, we short of staff, and the warrant probably ain't gonna be out until tomorrow. And I looked on there this morning on the CaseNet. It's not on there yet. But the fact is, how is he not happen to appear in court when he done threatened a victim of one of his family members that attacked me? But let's go and look at the paperwork. But I'm gonna send this here to the FBI in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, to the Justice Department, not in Jefferson City because they have, some of them got ties to these people here, but in the United States Capitol. And I want all the activists that see this here, have people focus on Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department and the 33rd Circuit Court and tell me how this guy just got a misdemeanor harassment. He don't have to show up at court. I was the one that was a victim. So the procedures and the punishment had nothing to do with him being punished for what he did to me. He getting punished to pay the system. But I want y'all to see these phony documents in 1 minute. I want you to look at this report that Barry Morgan from the Sheriff's Department wrote. Now, you see when it was? April the 2nd. You see what he got on there? Case what? Closed. April the 2nd is when the offense happened. So how in the hell the case is closed and it ain't even went to the prosecuting attorney yet? How is it closed? Now, let me show you this here. You see who wrote it? That's Captain Barry Morgan. You see who approved it? Mike Boyers. Mike Boyers is a sergeant. Captain Barry Morgan is a captain, both from the Sheriff Department. You see when it was printed out to me? 4/16/25. It was printed out. I got a copy of it, and you see how it's being redacted. Look, that's page 1. You see all this redacted? Now look at the back. Look at all that. This is how the report he sent to me. Ain't got nobody names on it. Look at this here. 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 Now, this is what I want to show y'all something. Now, how can a sergeant approve? You see what it said? Approving officer, Mike Boyers. Those that don't know who Mike Boyers is, look him up in the Mississippi County Sheriff Department here in Missouri, and he's a sergeant. Look Barry Morgan up, a convicted sergeant who the Illinois State Police convicted. See, I know he don't like me, but the only reason he wrote the report is because a legitimate police officer wrote a field report. But you see, when a case is still pending, you see what this say? Case status open. You know why it's open? Because ain't no disposition been done on the case yet. This case hadn't even been, it just got approved from the prosecuting attorney on the 15th of April. What do that tell y'all? He didn't talk to the one white woman that was upstairs. He didn't put on there what I told him about what Jamaica told me. Now, you tell me, is this legal? It's not legal. They can't write their own laws. And that's what they doing. But the Justice Department gonna see this here. Now, I'm almost sure what Michael Owen's boo-boo and his cousin, Harvey Corbett, said Barry Morgan told him they don't have to worry about coming to court. He don't have to worry about coming to court because he ain't did nothing wrong. You see what I'm saying? They don't like Raymond anyway. Whether you like me or not, if a crime being committed against me and you a sworn law enforcement official, you supposed to do your job. You're going to try to discredit an individual that people had more respect than they had for you, a retired captain that's working in the courtroom. You're going to try to discredit him for going to get the name of the individual that threatened me. You're going to try to discredit him for not stopping me from videoing in a place that I got a right to video. That's what's wrong with Barry Morgan. That's what's wrong with the sheriff. That's what's wrong with some of these other people. And let me tell you about Jamaica Parker and Harvey Corbett. One of their aunties worked for Lester Gillespie, another person that I criticized that the Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County Sheriff Department wouldn't arrest when he tried to force his way into one of his houses. I'll play the video. You will hear the Deputy Pratt, who quit, told Lester he committing a burglary and an assault. And when he took Lester down, the sheriff made him let him go. The report disappeared. But the auntie works for Lester Gillespie, and his uncle, they uncles, live in one of Lester Gillespie properties. Lester Gillespie marched the streets with one of their cousins that assaulted me or harassed me. He marched in the streets with them. But y'all tell me this, if you can't tell me nothing else. Where do you ever see a sergeant giving the approval of a captain's report? I'm going to leave it at this here. God gonna shake it up. He done shook it up before. He gonna shake it up again. But I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna tell y'all something. See, what Barry Morgan did and Mike Boyers You know, I had respect for you, but why would you sign something that you know you don't have the authorization to do? You don't even have the proper hours to be a sheriff. If you left the sheriff's department, you can't go nowhere else. Just like the sergeant, the black sergeant, don't have the proper hours to be a sergeant or a police. But if they leave Charleston, Missouri, they can't go nowhere else because they don't have the proper hours. They was grandfathered in. Y'all don't want to get me started. Peace be still. Now, this is a subpoena for me to come to court on May the 21st, 2025 at 10 a.m. To be a witness because I'm the victim of Jermichael Parker, who brother they didn't do nothing to. The only purpose it served was getting money for the state. Court costs, fines and court costs, a warrant. He didn't have to even come to court. That means that you can just go in the courtroom and somebody go into court against you or some of your family members, you can just get up in there and just tell them, I should slap the shit out of you. Or you could tell the prosecuting attorney or the judge if you don't like, or the police or the sheriff, if you don't like what they did to some of your family members, you can just tell them, I should slap the shit out of you, walk out of the courtroom and get a summons, and then you don't even have to come to court, and all you have to do is pay court costs, fines and court costs. You see, one thing about it, God sent me down here for this particular reason. That's why a lot of people don't have no respect for judges, prosecuting attorneys, sheriff deputies, and police. But there are some good ones out here. But what happened in this here? This gonna cause people like Harvey Corbett and Jermichael Parker and Michael Owens, boo-boo, it gonna cause somebody to take their ass straight off this map, because y'all ain't doing nothing about it. People ain't gonna keep on taking what I'm taking. You see what I'm saying? They gonna do it to the wrong person, and they gonna take their head off their shoulders. You see what I'm saying? And that's why police get harmed, because individuals like Barry Morgan, Mike Boyers, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you've been in law enforcement long enough to know damn well you can't approve no captain or somebody higher than you. You don't even have the proper hours to even be a sheriff deputy. Go somewhere else. You can't go. The sergeant, the black sergeant, can't go.
Did you get everything you need, sir?
Is there anything else that you needed?
I'm not leaving my property until we go be together.
Is there anything else?
I don't even trust her with you.
Is there anything else that you?
Okay, why don't you trust her with me?
First of all,
Hold on, wait, stop.
You did.
this is my house.
You own the house, but you rent it, sir.
Stop it.
Listen to me, man. Fred.
Yeah.
Okay, go on and do what you're going
I'm
to do.
going to do what I'm doing. I'm taking a report.
Yeah, and I'm going to call first. I can call Brett.
Don't do that to him, because he ain't even done nothing.
No,
This is what you're doing. You getting
I
on
opened
to
that door 'cause she was
everybody.
in the way.
But you getting
She
on
was
to
standing behind us,
everybody.
so you
No,
committed an assault.
You getting on to
And a
everybody.
burglary, because you can't go into your house
You're
if you've rented it to somebody.
Let me tell you what happened, sir.
You barged into the door. I seen it.
The door was open.
Y'all stop.
The door was
The door
closed.
was open, but she was
And
standing
she was
behind it,
standing
and
right
you pushed it
there.
open.
And I asked her, we coming in.
You pushed it open.
You said she was a
Now we
sheriff.
can do this. You can leave, or you can go to jail with me. How about that?
Sir, listen to me, man.
Okay.
Now, what they gonna do with this case? His brother threatened to slap me. I'm supposed to be a special victim, but I ain't a special victim anymore, I guess. What they gonna do to him? Tell him don't do it no more? Or next time, just make sure you kill Raymond so he won't press no charges? It wouldn't shock me. I would like the body cam of the interviews that Barry Morgan did with Michael Owens and Harvey Corbett. I would like the videos of that. You see what I'm saying? Because I believe he actually told them, you don't have to come to court, because it ain't going to be no charge. Why did it take 2 weeks to the charges to be filed? Why is it that this individual don't even have to appear to court? Now, what if he approached me and I took his life? You'd be wanting to prosecute me, wouldn't you? Y'all prosecuted me when I was videoing lesbian lying to children in my neighborhood saying that I raped children. Y'all arrested me. I had to bond out. Y'all convicted me, and y'all gave me 2 years probation for exercising my First Amendment right. But God gonna get y'all. He done already worked up in that damn courthouse already. Gave a judge a massive heart attack. Removed one judge and sent one prosecuting attorney to the cemetery. I'm saying this here because I'm sick and tired of y'all. I'm showing you what God doing. You look at some of the people that done attacked me. Look what's happening to their family members. Look where they go in the graveyard into the penitentiaries. I'm not wishing or praying for none. I'm just moving out of the way. Once I stand up against you cowards, law enforcement officials, if the shoe fit, wear it. Judges, prosecuting attorneys, if the shoe fit, wear it. And some of you blacks that think you so tough. Boo-boo, we know you's a white man's Negro. My daddy, may he rest in peace, he served this country for it to be justice for all. When he left to fight against Adolf Hitler in the 1940s, he said it was racism here then, where they segregated them to 700 South Den Elm Street. That used to be Lincoln School, where the only place where blacks was able to go to school because the whites didn't want the blacks to go to the Charleston Consolidated School number 7. Today is the Charleston, Missouri R1 school district. They had to fight in the federal courts in St. Louis and won to be able to go to other schools. But my dad said he left here, there was racism. It was racism in the military when they drafted him. He said that they had blacks sleeping in separate barracks from the whites. He said they had to watch from the Germans that they was fighting and the Americans, the white Americans, if the shoe fit, wear it. But now I know he's looking down and telling me just to stand strong, because at 18, if he could stood strong here in Charleston, Missouri with the racism back then, and when he went to the military and got back and went to Chicago, that's why he didn't raise, him and my mother left when he got out of the military and raised all 9 of us in Chicago, Illinois. And I see why now. And it's so sad, all these people in this town, y'all see what's going on. You don't have to help me. But when I was sitting in the courtroom, here it is, the prosecuting attorney want to lock up 2 different parents, black and white parents, because they children's missing school in the Charleston R1 school district because their daughters is being bullied by some of these coward boys that's in the streets, that's committing these crimes. But I'm gonna leave it at this here. I'm not gonna give up. I done made my case, and I know it's a good case. Let me see y'all straighten this here out. How did Mike Boyers, a sergeant that don't have enough hours to really be a sheriff deputy, how did he be able to sign and approve, being the approval officer of a captain, a convicted captain? A captain that didn't do his job right when it came to me. The detective didn't do his job. He owed him, just like they got you before John Blakely, the Supreme Court Justice, the Missouri Supreme Court Justice, just like they got you, Barry Morgan, the Illinois State Police. God got his eyes on y'all. It's corruption in that Mississippi County Sheriff Department. I'm going to leave it with this here. God, shake this town up. Mississippi County Sheriff. No, that's the Charleston Police Department. I'm hoping, let's see what's going on. Which way are they going here? Going over the bridge. So it must be something happening on the I-57 northbound. They didn't go over the viaduct, which is boomland. Let me ride my bike down and check it out.